This is just going to be a short video explaining a little bit about the app that I've been using to make some of these videos to put on the iPad at Firsty site that I've been using to show what we're doing in first grade. So the app itself is called Explain Everything. You can see here I've inserted a web browser into this. You can see it's $2.99 for the app. It's by far one of the best apps that I've found. We haven't used this with my first graders yet just because there's a lot of different options that they can use. We've been using EduCreation simply because it's free and it's got a very simple user interface that's geared more towards my first graders. So go ahead and check out this video and I'll explain a little bit about it. When you first open the app itself, you can see I've got the option to start a new project up in the top left. When I click on new project, I can start from a blank template, as well as I can import a lot of different options as far as Dropbox from Box itself. For this presentation that I'm making right now, I just went ahead and took a bunch of screenshots from the app itself, and then when I went to make the project, I just imported them from my photos. Some of the tools in this app itself, you can see up in the top. If you want to add a new page, you've got the little green plus sign. The icon that's right underneath of it gives you the option to it's your slide sorter, so you can go through and see which slides that you have and move them around. The next one, you can see if I click and hold down on the pencil tool, it gives me the option to set pen thickness as well as the colors. The next tool that you have, the computer screen looking icon there on the toolbar, gives you the option to choose what kind of pointer you want to use. So instead of making a pen, if you're trying to point some things out, I can go ahead and change it here for you. If I change to a little laser dot, you can see that when I'm pointing out some stuff, I could be displaying some stuff for kids in this little video that I'm making. That little pointer will show where I'm pointing at on the exact spot on the page. The next tool allows you to choose kind of some shapes that you can insert, and it gives you the option to set the fill color as well as the transparency of it. Gives you kind of the border color as well of the shapes. You have the option to insert text. You can see here this is just the little letter A. It gives you the option to choose what color you want as well as the font and the size of the font. Once you're in your slide creations, you can go ahead and you can actually import a lot of different options as far as images. My very first slide of this presentation, I actually inserted a web browser, so there's a lot of functionality with what you can insert into your presentation. The next little element is this little X that gives you the option to delete some of the items that you've added into your presentation. So if I added a star into here quick and then I chose that X, you can see that if I touch my star, it gives me the option to delete some of the elements that I add to my presentation. The next option that you have is actually kind of a layering option. So if I chose this option, you can see I made 2 stars. So if I chose the layering element and I click on one of my objects that I have, so if I click on the blue star, I can send it to which direction I want. So if I send it backwards, it puts it behind the red star, so you can actually layer your objects that you put in your presentations. When you're finished with your project, if you've made just an image and added some drawings on it, you can export it as an image, and you can see here you got a lot of choices of where you can export it and how you export it as far as what format. If you do add a lot of recordings to it and movements, you'll have to export it as a video for it to show up. So the last part of this you can see is if you do save some recordings in there, you're going to have to export it as a video, and it gives you some options here where you can actually export it. So again, this app was called Explain Everything. It's a very a great app for the price that it has. It allows you to do a lot of explanation for your students.